What's up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video I'm actually working on apartments in the world of Ciudad Enamorada, which is of course the world that came with the Love Struck expansion pack. I am still not over this world and I'm happy to hear that in the comments on my previous videos that you're also still very much enjoying the world and seeing builds here, so that actually makes me really happy. So today I'm sharing this apartment build, and as you may have noticed already, it is actually built on a penthouse lot, which is a new feature that I think came with the latest base game update right before Love Struck came out. They did a really big base game update. And well, actually not just base game, but just like an update for the entire game. And if you have residential or for rent, the for rent expansion pack, the pack with which you can build residential rentals, you can now do that on penthouse lots. And I am so happy that they added that. That didn't used to be a thing. When For Rent first came out, you couldn't do residential rentals on penthouse lots in already existing apartments or on waterfront lots, so the beach lots in Sulani, for example. And now they changed it so that you can actually do that on penthouse lots, not for the other lot types, which I feel like makes sense. It would have been cool if we could turn already existing apartments into even smaller apartments. I think that would be so much fun because we definitely have a lot of really, really big apartments in the game in San Myshuno that I never touch because they're just too big and I don't really like them. I mean, it's a fun challenge to like try and come up with something and do like a really big apartment. I've done it before, but it's just not my favorite thing to do. I think it would be so fun if you could turn those really big, like 3-story huge apartments into separate apartments. I think that would be really fun, but I don't think that's coming to the game. I think that would be a little bit of an annoying or like difficult thing to make happen when it comes to like the apartment gameplay system and then the residential rental gameplay system. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that would be just a little bit too complicated. But I am very happy that we can now do it on penthouse lots, and that is what I'm doing today. So as you can probably already see, as I'm just yapping and completely talking over the video, I am trying to continue the apartment building underneath. I was really trying to kind of make it almost go seamless. It's not necessarily perfect. The wallpaper looks perfect enough, but if you zoom in close, you can see that it's actually a different texture. But color-wise, this was the best I could find. So I was just, this is the one that I settled for, like the white grayish wallpaper. And I think it works really well. It's almost perfect, just not all the way, but you know, that works for me. And I actually turned this into 3 apartments. So it is a 2-story building. We have 2 apartments on, let's call it the ground floor. We're on a penthouse, but you know what I mean. And then I have 2 apartments, or 1 apartment on the 2nd floor. The apartment on the 2nd floor is slightly bigger actually, and a little bit more luxurious maybe, because they do have their own really big rooftop terrace. But then there is also on the ground floor, there is a shared rooftop terrace for all the apartments to share. It has a door off of the balcony or off of the hallway where you enter into the building, and then there is like a shared little area for the Sims to use. And then the other 2 apartments, the smaller ones, actually also have little balconies. You may or may not have seen that already as I was like doing the exterior, but the other side of this apartment building has little balconies like just on the debug building, and I thought it looked so cool. I was really trying to continue that because, like I said, I was really trying to continue this building as I was creating these apartments on top of it. And so I was trying to kind of continue that, and I was taking away from what I could see for the building beneath it. As you can see, for this balcony area, I was really going off of what I could see for the lower level. There is some sort of balcony space there too, and there's lots of plants and things. So I was trying to go off of that, but also kind of make it its own thing, if that makes sense. And I think it really turned out fun. I had a lot of fun with this because it's something I've never done before. Apartments on a penthouse lot was definitely something new for me, and I was incredibly excited that this was a possibility now. And I love small apartments in the game. I feel like we don't have enough really small apartments. We have a few smaller apartments in the City World, oh my goodness, San Myshuno is what it's called. We have a couple of smaller apartments there, but not a lot. There are a few smaller ones in Evergreen Harbor, but for some reason I barely ever touch those. I should go back to Evergreen Harbor and redo those apartments again. I've done them before, like I have definitely renovated them before. A few times. I really like them, but it's actually been a minute. So maybe I should revisit and see if I can come up with something else, because I like those because they're smaller. And I just love that we can do that now here on Penthouse lots, where you can kind of continue the building underneath it, but then also turn it into its own thing and like create the smallest apartments you can, like if you want to. I just love that we have that freedom now. So I had a lot of fun with that. And as you can see, we are starting to decorate the first apartment here. And I think this is, no, it's not the smallest one actually. This is the only one that has 2 bedrooms. The bedrooms are very tiny, but there are 2 bedrooms. So you could use it as a 2-bedroom apartment. You could even have like a couple with a kid live here if you wanted to. It will be very cramped, but it's definitely a possibility. So yeah, this is a 2-bedroom apartment. I furnished it for an adult. I was, for all these apartments, or actually for the first 2, I was thinking a single sim. And then for the one on the top floor, I was thinking a couple. But obviously it doesn't, you can have whatever sim you want live in these apartments. I didn't really have a set storyline for them. For this one, I was more so just focusing on the build and trying to tell a story through that. And I was kind of thinking of a single sim for this one, loving their single life here in Ciudad Enamorada. These apartments are also definitely more on the modern side of things. They're small, but still kind of feel luxurious. That's at least what I was going for, and I think it turned out pretty fun. As you can see here, we just have a very small open floor plan with a kitchen and a living room space. I didn't really have the space for a set like dining table or dining area, but we do have island counters, so we do have some like dining, like a dining space in the kitchen, I guess. But then we do have a balcony where I think I ended up placing a dining table so your Sims could eat out there, which is always really nice. I haven't done a lot of gameplay in Ciudad Enamorada, so I'm not exactly sure what the weather is like if you have seasons. I'm not exactly sure what the climate is like here, or if it rains a lot, or if it's always sunny. If I would have to guess, I'd say the majority of the year, like the 4 seasons, throughout the 4 seasons in your game, I think for the majority of the time it would be on the warmer side of things, warm and sunny, maybe some rain here and there. I might be wrong. If you've done like a full year, like 4 seasons of gameplay here, let me know your experience, because I honestly have no idea. But I was kind of thinking that the weather would be nice, so it's nice to have like a dining area outside is what I was thinking. And then here off of the kitchen we have a small bathroom. I was of course going for a walk-in shower with the glass sliding doors. I'm just obsessed with those. I'm so happy we have them, and now that I've used them so much, they fit on this one specific size of half wall perfectly. Obviously, you can use them on any. You could also use them on full walls if you wanted to. But now that I've used them so many times, I'm like, ugh, I wish we had gotten these sliding doors in like full size as well, so that you can use them on your regular walls and just use them as sliding doors, not just for a shower. I know that's what they're for, so it makes sense, but I just love them. I think they're so pretty, and I would have loved another set of sliding doors just for not just showers, if that makes sense. But yeah, I still love it, so I use it in the bathroom. And then here we have the one, or actually the main bedroom of this apartment. Of course, I had to use my favorite flowery wallpaper. I've said it before, I've warned you before, I am so not overusing this, so I'll find any excuse to still use that flowery wallpaper. I just love it so much, it's so beautiful. So I use it in here, and the color scheme for this bedroom is very cutesy, powdery pink, sort of, and I just thought it was very like soft and, I don't know, inviting looking. We definitely have some touches of pink and red as well. And then next to the main bedroom, we have this second bedroom that I actually turned into an office/guest bedroom. So it's a multifunctional space. And funnily enough, as I was furnishing or going through this entire apartment building, one of my, I was actually decorating this over on Twitch, and one of my friends actually said, is this apartment supposed to be for River? And that was just a genuine question. If you don't know, River is my Spa Day Air character in my Let's Play, the Pack Legacy that I play here over on YouTube. I'll try to remember to link it in the description box down below, the playlist for it. And I have, we're moving on to the second generation, with a sim called River, and he is going to be a yoga instructor, going to be very much into wellness and stuff like that. And I wanted to move him into an apartment. And then without realizing it, I actually furnished this first one, and it's perfect for River. So that's who I will be using it for. So you will, if you actually watch my Pack Legacy here, you'll see this apartment and this building come back because we're going to use it for the second generation of the Let's Play, which is Spa Day, which is with River. And River is going to move in here. I thought it would be so perfect. We can make some space here on the balcony, maybe place a little yoga mat. It's not going to be his forever home, but it's going to be nice to have him get started in an apartment that is maybe a little bit more affordable. It's really small, but definitely a little bit more luxury. And I think the rent would probably be a little bit expensive too. I think penthouse lots are always a little bit more expensive. I'm not exactly sure how that works when you turn it into a residential rental with multiple apartments. Like how does that work? Is the rent still going to be a little bit more expensive? I don't know. We'll have to figure out how that works. But yeah, that first apartment is definitely going to be for River. We're going to move him in here. We're going to explore the new world with him. We're also going to do some online dating. He is supposed to be very picky when it comes to partners. So we're going to have to go through a few different partners before we land on our spouse. So yeah, it's definitely going to be fun to have some online dating adventures with him and just like live in this apartment. I thought that would be really fun. So that's what we'll be using it for. And in the meantime, we have moved on to the second apartment, which is still on the ground floor or main floor of this building, I guess. And this one's even smaller. I really like this one. Floor plan wise or layout wise, it is a little weird. I definitely had to fiddle around with the shape of this and the layout of this a little bit, but it ended up working out really nice. Actually, I really like this one. I think this one might be my favorite. I love the little end table that I used from the pastel pop kit. I just love it. And then the cream or like orangey kind of, or peach colored, I guess, little sectional couch. That one is from the My First Pet Stuff pack, actually, and I never used that couch. I try to not use that pack because I know a lot of people don't have it, though I think at some point it was free, so maybe more people have it now. I'm not exactly sure, but I never used that couch, but it was perfect for this tiny living room that I had to work with, and it actually worked out really well. And then we also have a really fun kitchen in that weird nook of the place, which actually ended up working out perfect. I really like the layout of the kitchen. It's definitely on the smaller side of things, but yeah, I don't know, it works for this apartment and it's nice and modern, even feels a little bit luxurious. So that was fun. And also for these apartments, since they are like in a set building and they're rentals, what I really wanted to try was to have all the kitchens and bathrooms have the same stuff in it, like the same appliances, the same kitchen counters, but maybe just in different colors. So I tried to keep all three of the apartments very consistent in that way. They all have the same floors. They have similar like wall textures and accent walls, but just in different colors. That sort of a thing. I was definitely trying to add in a little bit of personality. Maybe people use some like apartment-friendly wallpaper in the bedrooms, you know, stuff like that. But for the rest, like the main stuff, the stuff that the apartment comes with, I guess, I tried to keep that very continuous throughout all three of them and just kind of have it be a little bit the same in that sense. And I think that worked out really well. I love these kitchen sets from Home Chef Hustle. They were perfect for this style that I was going for, the more modern, simple, modern, but by no means cheap looking. I guess that's what I was going for here. And then this second apartment has a very, very small bedroom. I did not have a lot of space in here at all, but I did make room. I guess you don't need room for it, but I did do a fun accent wall here. I am, like I said, obsessed with the wallpapers from the Lovestruck pack, and this leopard print is one of them. I just love it so much. I think it's so fun, especially for a smaller bedroom like this. I think it'd be really nice to have like just a pop of something on the wall here to make the room a little bit more interesting, because you can't really fit a lot of stuff in here to try and tell a story or try and make it look personalized. So I thought that the wallpaper was perfect for that. And then I did end up placing a really big artwork on the wall. I thought that was nice because we are working on, I think, medium wall height here. So I did definitely have a lot of wall space to try to work with. And that really big painting from Lovestruck actually really came in handy for that a few times. It also comes in gorgeous swatches. So yeah, that was nice to have. And then here in this second apartment, we have that same sort of bed or bathroom, except this one's even smaller. As I was playtesting it, I did have to swap the door around because the opening, I guess, the way I placed it now, the opening is by the sink, so your Sims can't reach the shower. But thankfully I was able to fix that by just rotating the door, and then it was all set. So that was good. Thankfully I was able to fix that. I was kind of worried about that as I was building that, but yeah, it actually worked out, thankfully. And then these Sims also have that same sort of balcony. As you can probably maybe kind of tell a little bit, there's those same little balconies on the level below, except they're like half the size. I'm not exactly sure, like it's so funny when you look at the debug buildings in The Sims, sometimes the size proportions are so off, because I think that that's supposed to look like there's four little apartments next to each other on the level below these ones. That is not going to fit. Like, those apartments are going to be so tiny, you can't make that work. Or maybe, I mean, maybe you can, but like it's going to be so small. So I kind of just broke it up into two bigger chunks for the balconies, and I think that looks good. But I'll show you once we jump into the game, and I'll show you the apartment or the builds in real time, of course, when we do a little tour. And then here on the top floor, we have a slightly, or actually not slightly, it's a lot bigger of an apartment than the two downstairs. This one does actually only have one bedroom. Because it's so much bigger, I really wanted it to have two bedrooms. But I don't know, I tried a couple of different floor plans, and two bedrooms was just gonna be a little bit too cramped, and I didn't like it, and I still wanted it to have that very luxury look and feel, especially since this is kind of the penthouse apartment of the penthouse apartments, if that makes any sense at all. So I definitely wanted this one to have a little bit of a penthouse look and feel, if you will. So it's a little bit more spacious, a little bit larger. It has really nice, huge windows overlooking the city, and there's just a gorgeous view. So I was trying to keep that in mind as well. And the color scheme for this one also is slightly more moody. I used a little bit more black and gray in here. I could get away with that, I felt, because this is a bigger space. So you could still use black and gray and like dark colors in smaller spaces, but I just like to use it in bigger spaces because, you know, it makes the room feel a little smaller or a little cramped. So it actually worked out really well for this. These people have a nice kitchen also with a set of island counters, but also a full dining table for this one actually. So that was nice, and I don't know, I just really liked the colors in here. I just think it feels a little bit more luxury, a little bit more bougie. So for this one, I was definitely envisioning a couple living here, maybe a couple that has a cat actually. As you could probably already tell, I placed a cat tree in the hallway. They have a very spacious hallway with just a row of windows overlooking the city, and it was the perfect spot to put a cat tree. So that's what I did. Imagine being that cat, like you can just hang out on that cat tree and just enjoy the view all day. If I were a cat, I would love that spot. So yeah, I thought that was absolutely perfect. And then in here, as you can see, they also have, it's just an open floor plan, just like the other apartments, because that was just the easiest way to do it. And it felt very modern as well, which is definitely what I was going for. So yeah, we have this open kitchen, dining, and living room space. This one is a little bit more spacious, the living room. I combined two of those really cool dressers from For Rent. These are my absolute favorite dressers in the game, and I use them as console tables all the time because they're just so perfect for that. I love them so much, they're so pretty. And they worked out perfectly for this color scheme as well. So yeah, a lot of black and beige and also some gray tones going on. I was loving those round coffee tables. Those are from Lovestruck actually. I just sized one down and combined two of them to kind of make it look like a set of tables as well. And for the rest, it really speaks for itself. It's really not that cluttered or crazy, like messy of an apartment. I really tried to tone it down with the clutter a little bit because I wanted to try and capture those modern, more luxury vibes. And I feel like a lot of clutter doesn't really work for that. Definitely some clutter to like make it look like Sims actually live here, but not like too crazy cluttered or personalized or anything. And then here on the island counter, I actually ended up placing a little laptop. I love that laptop. That one's from Dream Home Decorator, and I never use it because I always think it's too expensive and just like a waste. I could just go for a cheaper laptop, but it's really not that much more expensive than the most expensive, or at least the one I always tend to use, which I think is the one from Discover University. And that one's only a couple hundred simoleons cheaper than the one from than the one from Dream Home Decorator. So I actually ended up using that, and it comes in really cool gold swatches. And those gold swatches were perfect. They just really fit the vibe. Not that you would have a laptop that matches the colors of your interior, like that makes no sense, but you know, it was cool for this build. And then here you can see that we have a bedroom. These people actually have a very spacious bedroom. They had, there's even room for a built-in wardrobe here, as you can see. Of course, I again had to use the leopard print wallpaper, but in a different color this time. I don't think I've used this color a lot yet for the leopard wallpaper, but I use it in here and I think it actually turned out really, really nice. Also still obsessed with that bed. That bed is from the Modern Luxe kit, and it's just one of the prettiest beds we have in the game, in my opinion. I think it's so, so gorgeous. So I use it in here and it goes really nicely with the Lovestruck stuff, actually. It kind of matches. So that was nice. And then these people also have a bathroom, of course. The bathroom is a little bit small. I didn't have space for the gorgeous built-in shower with the sliding glass doors in here, so unfortunately they just have a shower kind of tucked away in the corner there. But they do have a bathroom with a view. Like, they have a very big window in the bathroom. Of course, I made sure to give them some privacy with blinds, but you know, you could just take a shower with a view if you wanted to. No one's really gonna see you. You're really high up there, so I feel like that's definitely a possibility. And then these Sims also have their own private rooftop terrace here, so obviously I had to go for a nice seating area. I'm loving those black couches. I think those would be really hot to sit on in the summertime, like when they're sitting out in the sun, but you know, that's fine. It's The Sims. The Sims don't really have those types of problems. So I was definitely just going for aesthetics and placing the black couches. A lot of plants. They also have a litter box out here for the cat, of course. I wanted to make sure to add an easel for some skill building, and I think, yeah, I also added in a yoga mat for some skill building as well, so these Sims actually have a little bit of something to do and you can work on some skills here. I could move River into this apartment too with the yoga mat, but I think that would just be a little bit too expensive. So yeah, maybe not. That's probably just a little bit too luxurious. But that is essentially going to do it for this build. So let's jump into the game and I'll show you the apartments in real time. So here we have the penthouse apartments in the game. As you can tell, I was definitely trying to continue the building that was already there. Unfortunately, the wallpaper isn't perfect. I wish it was, but when you zoom out, it's close enough. On this side here is where we have those balconies. This is what I was talking about. Like, they have 5 of those very tiny ones in a row for, I guess, 5 different apartments. How is that gonna fit? How is that gonna work? Maybe they're 2-story apartments or something like that. I don't know, but I just decided to turn it into 2 slightly bigger ones. So we have 2 balconies. We don't have this exact fence, but I guess this base game one is close enough too. And then, as you can tell, I was trying to like continue that same window situation. Here in the back, unfortunately, that didn't really work out with the way I laid out the apartments. So I used some different windows here, which actually ended up working just fine too. And then out front here, there is this shared hangout spot for all 3 apartments to use. There's even a hot tub for that like luxury look and feel. So we have that. And then over here is the hallway. So here is where we have the elevator coming up, and then there's just a hallway with the front doors leading you into the different apartments. This is the first one. This is the one I think I'm going to be using for River in my Pack Legacy Let's Play. There is a small entryway space here and then a living room set. It is just really really small, but it actually still kind of feels spacious in a way. So there is that. And then behind here is the kitchen. No dining table, but we do have these island counters, so that works just fine, I feel. And then over here is a bathroom, nothing special, but loving the colors, the soft beige and the gold tones in here. Of course, out here is the balcony. We do have a 4-seater dining table here, so that's nice. And then in the back here is where we have the bedrooms. This is, of course, the main bedroom with the gorgeous flowery wallpaper that I just had to use. A double bed that is accessible from only one side, but Sims can scoot over these days, so I feel like that should be fine. I had to do the little suitcase moment here in the corner, of course, and then just a dresser. And then over here is the study slash guest bedroom, and for gameplay purposes, maybe it's nice to have a roommate or something to split the rent. So that's definitely a possibility, but for now I just placed a computer desk in here and then a very simple, just single bed. Across the hall is the second bedroom, and I think, like I said, this might be my favorite. I'm not sure why. It has something to do with the weird shape of it, and I just like how it worked out. So there is an entryway here. I kept it all fairly simple, as you can probably already tell. And then through here, you kind of walk into the living room space. I always love it when I have the opportunity to use this pastel pop table. It's so cool. I really want one in real life. I think they're so fun. There's a TV here, and I use this nice sectional kind of thing from My First Pet stuff. This color worked out so well in here, so that was nice. Some bookcases along this wall, and then there is a dining table in here. A dining table with a view, might I add. How fun is that? And then there's a kitchen in here. The kitchen's small, but it is everything that your Sims need, and I really like the layout for this kitchen. The nook that I had here was actually perfect for this. And then, of course, there is a really small bathroom. I did have to swap this door around, but it is actually functional now, so that's good. And then there is the tiniest bedroom in here, and this bed is actually accessible from both sides. I had to fiddle around with those dressers a little bit more because those were kind of blocking your Sim's way around the bed, but I scooted them back into the wall a little bit more, and they should be, it should be fine now. I playtested it all, so that's good. And then they also have a balcony out here with just that same lounge area, and then also a small dining table. And then on the second floor here, we just have this open staircase landing space, and then there is a front door leading you into the third apartment. So the third apartment has this spacious hallway with a cat tree. That is a nice spot for a cat tree, if you ask me. On the left here is their very simple but functional bathroom, and on the right here is their bedroom. Loving the colors in here. This leopard wallpaper is just chef's kiss. They have a built-in wardrobe here, and then just a nice dresser with some knickknacks and a nice mirror. And then through this archway, you kind of enter into the rest of the space. The color scheme in here is a little bit more moody, but I love how it turned out. There's a dining room space here in the back by the kitchen where they have some nice island counters and a little office space as well. And then of course over here is their living room setup. It's very luxury but cozy at the same time. I try to use very soft fabrics and stuff like that in here to kind of capture the coziness, and I think that really worked out. And then I also love these bookcases along this wall here. It was just a perfect fit. And then there is a sliding door here out onto their balcony. So they have this private balcony set up with these loungers, or couches I should say. There is a yoga mat here, a dining table, you can do some painting, and of course a little spot for the cat. Realistically, maybe you wouldn't let your cat on this balcony, or you would find a way to close off this area or something like that, but this is The Sims, so cats can hang out there if they want to, and it's completely safe. But that is basically it for this build. So these penthouse apartments are up on the gallery. I built it on a 20 by 15 penthouse lot. It's actually such a small lot, but you can do a lot with it, apparently. And I actually uploaded it as a residential rental, so all the rentals are already set. The value of the entire thing is just under 130,000 simoleons, but of course each rental has its own value and its own rental price as well. So, but if you wanted to be the landlord to this building, you would have to pay nearly 130,000 simoleons, so it's a possibility. But that's gonna do it for today's video, so I really hope that you enjoyed this one. You can obviously go ahead and download it off the gallery like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is Simmary Sims. You can follow me on Instagram and on TikTok if you'd like. My username on there is Simmary Sims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so, and if you'd like to get notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. I also live stream over on Twitch a few times a week, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and give me a follow over on twitch.tv/SimmarySims. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!